In this video, I would like to share my views and learn from you on this most important question which I have been asking myself from very long time. So the question is this: what is that most important skill which everybody should learn to live better or more conscious life? So this question has become so important, at least in our period, that I feel like everybody should ask this question and try to get answer to this one. So when I started exploring this question, it started like this. It started like with one more question. So the question was like, what is a life? Okay. Then I came across this image, which I think you might have uh, already came across this image several times, and it helped me a lot. Okay, so it says life is starts from B to D, from birth to death, and our life is a matter of choices. So it says. And we already know that if we make better choices in our life, we live better life, and if we make wrong choices, we live chaotic life. We know all this, but the most important question is, how do we make these choices, right? How do we validate these choices, right? So these were like background questions which I was asking myself. Okay, because in my life I have made some choices which are which holded me back. Then I started myself asking myself like, what was the basis through which I made those choices, I made those decisions, right? So these are like background questions which I feel like nowadays all of us should ask. It is because, as we know, like in this technological era, our brains are almost are getting hijacked by big companies, and now we are almost becoming product of these companies, algorithms, politicians, and so on, right? Uh, Even at the emotional level also, I feel like it has become so you know um, uh, artificial, that uh, I always get a question on my own emotions also. Like, let's say, whenever I get some emotion, I always ask myself like, is this emotion been been implanted, or is it real, or it's been like you know already been planned by somebody. Okay, so it has become like that nowadays, right? Because um, when it comes to making choices, we know, right? These marketing companies make advertising companies make uh, play around with our brain, so that we make decisions which can help them in growing their businesses, right? So with all these backgrounds, right, when I started searching on this one, then I came across this very important skill called critical thinking. So this has been there. People have already been mastering this skill, and like the people who ever mastered or still mastering this skill are using people are using this skill to, you know, hypnotize others. They are embedding this skills into the algorithm so that they can train the our brains and so on. So I feel like critical thinking will help us in validating our own data which is in our brain, through which we are making choices. So the data which is there in our brain could be implanted by many sources, right? So this skill will help us in validating that data. This skill will help us in validating our own emotions. This skill will help us in knowing whether the other person is hypnotizing us to, get his work done or not. So this skill is all about thinking about our own thinking. So I'm like um, quite fascinated on this part nowadays. Exploring this one, I'll try to share whenever I learn this uh, anything. Whenever I learn anything in this regard. Um, so that's it. Thank you for your time. See you in coming videos.